It is the last segment, last hour of the show, and we have our topic of discussion. Today's topic is mainly going to be looking at online shopping. And with me, I'm holding something that can only be used maybe through marketing and all those details, so can help you understand which discussion we are going to have. I do have a gentleman who's coming in from Skynet Stores, and that's Atuhaire Max Steel. You're most welcome to the show.
Thank you, sir.
And it's a pleasure having you here today, as we're going to be discussing online shopping. You know, we're now living in a generation and an era of technology and business shifting to digital. So I want to first of all understand, how long have you been in this space?
Okay. Thank you so much for the opportunity to be us as Smart TV 24.
Okay.
Yeah, we appreciate so much. And my name is Max Steel Atuhaire.
Yes, please.
I'm the head of quality control, or the quality control manager, stroke sales executive in Skynet Stores.
Okay.
A brief preamble. Skynet Stores is under Skynet WWE.
Okay.
Yes.
WWE.
Yes.
WWE that I know.
Wrestling department.
Okay.
Worldwide Express.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So the Worldwide Express has been in existence for over 20 years in Uganda.
Okay.
Then Skynet Stores comes in as a subsection due to the diversification in the economy, in the market right now.
Okay.
One wise might say that 5 years from now, you won't be able to go to a window. You won't be able to go to any other market around to get something.
Your market is going to be your gadget.
At the convenience of your doorstep.
Okay.
Yes. So that's where Skynet Stores comes in. So we saw the opportunity, we saw the loophole or the gap, then we started to seize the opportunity.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's look at the lockdown. The lockdown taught us a new narrative that we have to adopt to the digital space. You couldn't move easily. There was no time for you to actually get a bicycle if you wanted to go and make you're staying in Entebbe. You're going to walk to Kampala to buy something, but at least there were these particular platforms that were supporting us. So with the lockdown and before the lockdown, if you're to give us some numbers, how effective was online shopping when you look at the statistics? Did it pick up more during the lockdown, or it is still the same even before the lockdown? Obviously,
it picked up more,
okay,
though it had a few challenges, but those were later dealt with when we were given stickers,
okay,
as companies. So we can say the lockdown was a challenge to the country nationwide, but at the same time it came as an opportunity to online marketing. Because now, since the movements were limited, we could easily access our customers wherever they were. Yes. So deliveries were easily made, and then obviously the rates of pitching and buying online, people started getting more awareness because they were, prioritizing their health and their security.
Okay.
So they preferred if you could deliver by the doorstep, knowing that at least one person in contact is easily manageable. You'll come with a mask, you have to have a sanitizer before you deliver. So it was people easily related with it.
Okay.
And the shift is actually ongoing.
I need to know the flow of business with these online platforms.
Yes.
I've seen quite a couple of them advertising, issues to do with even on YouTube, websites and all that. You are business, I think you're business oriented, rendering services. Sometimes your prices come cheaper. How do you manage to keep up with the profits? Because I would look at some of the products here, and I'm looking at some products here. I'm looking at some, maybe, let's say, a blender, or a phone cover coming in at maybe 20,000, or a flat iron at 40,000, where in some areas it's 60 or 50.
Yes.
So how do you make these returns at the end of it all with sometimes cheaper prices?
Now I want to take you back to some, allow me to call them principles, or let me call them business techniques. I want to give an example of our very good neighbors, and now they've become nationals, the Indians. Okay. And I want to use what they've used mostly for over years and has worked, what they call sales maximization. Okay. So now how we operate as Skynet Stores, it is mostly when you are trying to grow an entity, and that's where most Ugandans go wrong. They are so much into profit maximization and forget they need to make sales. If you can't make sales, then you cannot pay. You cannot sustain a company. You cannot sustain an entity. So what we need to do here is, what we need to do as Skynet Stores, we were like, we understand the markets we're operating in. We understand the target, the marketplace. And we want to bring this convenience. We want to make it so friendly to everyone. So the best we did was, let's subsidize our prices and maximize on the sales. So when I maximize my sales, automatically, as I go by, I will make profits in large numbers.
Okay.
So the more I sell, it may be at a very little profit, but it multiplies.
Okay.
Okay, because now I'm selling in large numbers, so it will be more cumulative, if I may use that term.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Let's talk deliveries. I love deliveries. Imagine you're inside your house.
Yes.
You've just maybe ordered for something, and then you receive it without even moving physically.
Yes.
Now, the issue of deliveries. Let's first start with the challenges that you may have faced. More so with we all know Ugandan streets. It's not that you will find every area having a street name, maybe William Street or this street plot number. This. Some of us come from areas whereby you will always say Mbera Kompina Mama Gondi. Komodala Guno. So how has it been to actually get addresses for these people who actually order?
Exactly. So that's a very good question. First of all, what we managed to do, we don't only stop at having vehicles or cars.
Okay.
We have scooters too. Okay. And what we did, we managed to recruit the ordinary young men from various areas. Okay. First of all, it was our major target to make sure we could impact our fellow nationals and from the grassroots. So that's how fast we managed that very problem. Then the fact that these scooters can get to anywhere, it's easy, it gets easy for them. And given the experience of 20 years in the courier service, puts us at a very better spot than any other company. Okay. So it means if you're in Chitogum, if you're in, name the village, name the village, Kabula Blanket, like some say, you know, that kind of village? Yes, we can get there.
Okay.
We can get there because we have the experience and we have the scooters, we have the cars, so there's no road impossible for us.
I'm now also imagining situations. Ugandans are very difficult people to actually convince.
Yes,
I do believe. Also when it comes to digital things, and some of them fear scams and all that. How do you deal with customers? If someone is actually operating an online business, let's say from a small scale, we've seen people actually having simple shops and they want to do their business online. If you're conducting a business online, how do you deal with a client who wants to pay? Maybe you've not met the client, because I believe most of these clients, you don't know them. It is just an imaginary client who's on phone, you're contacting them. So how do you manage to work with them, this level of patience? How do you manage to work with a client without that fear of saying, what if I burn the fuel and reach there and it's actually no business?
Okay, we normally call them, okay, I'll get to that later. So what we do is, first of all, as kind stores, we've managed to create like 4 payment options. And all these 4 payment options have targets. There's a reason why we create them. We have the mobile money, we have Visa card pay, then we have pay on delivery. Okay. Visa card, all that's options. So let me measure mostly on pay on delivery. The reason why we mostly put focus and emphasize the pay on delivery is because of such situations and circumstances that are actually affecting the online shopping marketing. So what we did is, why did we have to develop the pay on delivery? We are trying to buy your trust, showing you we're not only here for a short time, we're here to stay. We want to grow with you, we want to evolve with you, we want to, to experience every little age and moment with you. So as we are delivering as Kindness Stores, we give you that option of pay on delivery, first of all, to gain the trust in us, and then to maintain the quality of the product. Because you understand, I believe you've made some online pictures and orders before.
True.
Then I've had, because I'm the quality control manager, so I'm always in the field with my colleague. I think you'll talk to him later. So what happens is, most times when you get to some clients, they tell you, yes, we've ordered, but what happens is sometimes what we see online is not what we receive.
That has been a very huge challenge.
Exactly, as the final product.
Or with the online thing, it looks more appealing and quite attractive.
Exactly.
But then I believe maybe it's a marketing strategy also. But sometimes it looks more appealing. I don't know if for example, when you're buying or you're purchasing a cloth, maybe they will use a model who looks quite different from you, but the outfit looks okay, or even the outfit may look okay to your eyes. But when you buy it, why some people actually shun away from the online platforms is the same issue. And I want to actually bring you into this same context here a little bit before we actually go back to what we were discussing. Is if you are a client, for example, now put yourself in shoes of a client, and you've at least seen, let's say, this a kid's tablet, and you've loved it, your expectations are high, and then it comes in a way quite different from what you were expecting. Would you choose to take it or leave it?
I would choose to leave it because, first of all, I pay for my convenience.
Okay.
Yes. So, because remember, there is a little transportation fee attached to a delivery.
True.
Okay. So, if I'm paying for my convenience, then why should I get what I did not order for?
Okay.
And that's why it's kind of becoming with a difference. That's why we want to change the whole arena about online shopping platforms.
Okay.
Okay. So, as we go back to what you were discussing earlier, is so that the option of pay on delivery is to make sure the quality of what the customer or the client saw is what they receive.
Okay.
So if you don't receive what you saw, you have the mandate to say, my boss,
I'm not
this is
taking
what I
it.
ordered for, so please, and we call that a reject.
Okay.
Yes.
In good faith.
In good faith. And we are liable to all the costs as Skynet stewards. That's the beauty about it.
You know, I've happened to use one time an online platform here in Uganda to actually order for something. Then what happened in the long run is that after rejecting it, the delivery person apparently felt more angered than me who bought it. So I'm like, okay, what's wrong? What is happening? So it's me, it's my money, and then you are more angry than me who is paying it, yet I'm actually not I'm not going to receive it because it's not the quality I was expecting. But let's also continue with our discussion though. Online marketing.
Yes, please.
If you're to look at the transition of bigger online marketers in the world currently that people look up to and all that, in the space that we have in Uganda, which challenges do you believe, which general challenges need to first be worked upon before we can clearly say we are good to go with online marketing? I'm not saying we're not there, but I do believe some Ugandans still have bias towards it. But if you're to look at the challenges that we are facing that may be a hindrance to it, what are those that we can address?
Okay, first of all, by the way, I want to appreciate, I think we cannot forget the government here. It has given us the platform, you know. If we didn't have probably the good road management and all stuff, some of these things would be impossible.
Yes.
But yes, we've had a problem with social media, because as an online shopping platform, we understand we need all these arenas, all these platforms. Come from Facebook, talk about Twitter, talk about Instagram, talk about TikTok. We need all of them. You'll find that some that have stayed for, that have survived for longer period of time, that we have limitations now. Okay. So if there are limitations, like for example, let me use Facebook. Okay, I believe it's okay to talk about that. So you find that now if we cannot all access Facebook like we used to, that's the few who can now know about the VPN and everything, all that stuff. So it gets to be a challenge, okay? Since it has grown its market. Yeah, it has grown its market, its clientele base is humongous. So that would be a very good area to maximize. So some of those limitations tend to affect us a bit, but the good thing is that, you know, progress and development can't be stopped once it isn't set. Okay. You can do whatever you can do, but you can't stop a child from growing. You can't hold them. You can't stop a child from growing tall. You can't hold their heads. You cannot grow tall. Yes. It's impossible, you know. So the economy is diversifying. It's changing. And we used to have the black and white TV back in the day. I remember when I was still much younger, and when the TV was shouting, they used to display those rainbow colors.
And then we moved to Chimuto. If you have Chimuto now, you're outdated.
So you could have stopped the diversification. Right now we have flat screens. So you can't stop that. So however much those limitations may be there, but they're unstoppable. There are more other avenues that are being innovated. So nevertheless, those are challenges there, but they're for us to open up our eyes and to become more creative, to see how best we can go around it. One wise man said, actually an entrepreneur said that if you're into business, an entrepreneur, you need to act like water. When water is poured in a glass, it takes the shape of a glass. When it's poured on a plate, it takes the shape of a plate. So if I'm poured in a shape where Facebook is being limited, I have to find my way how I can operate within the same categories. So as business owners and as an online shopping platform, that's an opportunity for us to diversify and to innovate more.
Okay, before I go into a break, I need to know, I have my friends, university students, we have people who actually at universities, institutions of higher learning. They yearn to work for such platforms, companies. Is there a specific course that someone has to study before they come and apply for such opportunities?
I would say no. You know, with today's economy, I want to encourage the youth outside there, because that's why I'm saying no. Most times with our curriculum that you have, you'll find what you study is not what you eventually do.
True.
To complete your studies.
So
as long as you're open-minded, as long as you're ready to learn and you're flexible, please, you're most welcome.
Okay.
Yeah, because we need to create that open door for everyone. Yes.
Okay, but I do believe they have to have some information regarding ICT
and knowledge. Yes, it's analytic and incentive. It's very important.
Let's talk about something to do with the order. I have like 2 minutes to go into the break. Let's talk about ordering.
Yes.
If someone is actually making an order, I've seen situations that you make an order, there's always someone who receives at the offices of these online companies, the online companies. How is it done? Do you online platforms actually have, let's say, an integration with the mobile, with the telecommunication companies in one way or the other?
Obviously, yeah. We need to work with the because they provide the networks and all the, because you have to be regulated under UCC. Obviously, to operate, because you're not going to sell that. So this is an example. So the entry has to be there, so that you can be, under regulations and under operating formally, so that you're not breaking any kind of laws. So yeah, that's how basically you need to be in the guidelines of how to operate, so they can accept you since you're a business entity.
Okay, I'm looking at after I'm not downloading the app and all these things. Now I'm setting in my order. So at the offices. Who receives my orders? I need to know the flow of the online business. How can someone get to understand that, hey, I have my phone, now I'm sending in the orders just like I'm going to a supermarket. There's a cashier, there's at the teller. Or there's someone who's actually helping me, an attendant, taking me through. So how is the flow of things administratively?
Now what we do, we have what we call centers.
Okay.
So the call centers, they're always ready to welcome every phone call that comes in, and they're always on that desks 24 hours in a day. Okay. So every time that you called Skynet Software, you call a number, you'll have an attendant to attend to you, and then they'll take you to the procedures of payment depending on what you want. They'll always give you all these 4 options that I talked about to make sure you feel comfortable in which one you want to prefer to make a payment. So as you make a phone call, our call center receives, they advise you according to how to pay, or they can just enlighten you sometimes, because some customers already know how to do it, but they can always advise you accordingly. Then you send in the cash, we'll receive it by mobile money. If you don't want to and you want to pay on delivery, still they'll take you to the same procedure. Then our couriers, actually our thing is same day delivery, and we take that so seriously.
All right, we take a break, but after it, Max is going to give us more details to do with how are we going to shape our digital space maybe the next 5 years in terms of the online businesses. We all yearn to actually tap into that digital space, but how effective can we do so? And then how can you make a safer, let's say, order online using most of these platforms? There are many in the country. You may not trust all of them, but truly, if at all you have information that is basic and information that is effective, you can go on to actually make an order, and it may be a new change for you. The next 10 years, 10, things are turning digital, and if at all the government can as well also check on the taxes or more so of the internet charges, you never know, things will definitely be good to go. After the break, we have more of those discussions. Stick around. This is SMB. Good morning.